So we're talking about our G major scale and in extended range. So let me just play it for you first. All right, so. So by extended range, we mean all of the notes that we can play on the violin from the lowest note to the highest note in first position. Okay, so that would be our open G all the way up to our fourth finger B natural. All right, and then let's talk about the finger placement. So on the G string, we have the high second finger, which has a whole step spacing between the first finger and second finger, and then a half step spacing between the second finger and third finger. So the second and third finger should be touching. The first and second fingers should not. All right. Then exactly the same hand shape, finger positioning on the D string. Okay. Then on the A string, we have second finger, the low second finger, which will have a half step spacing between the first and second fingers and a whole step spacing between the second and third. Exactly the opposite of the D and G string. Okay. And then the same finger positioning again on the E string. Second finger right next to the first finger, and then space between the second and third. And then also space between the third and fourth. All right? And let's do open strings for now. We'll add the fourth fingers later. So the only fourth finger you should use is that high B natural on the E string. Does that make sense?
When you get to the end?
Yes, when you get to the very top. Exactly. And then what we can do with this is once you learn this really well, we can start doing all kinds of different patterns with it. All right. So we could do the scale starting on every different note of the scale. So we could go then A, B, C, and so on. We could do scale passages of 4 notes each. We could do arpeggios. We can get creative with it and do all kinds of different things with it. Okay. So that's where we're going with this. But let's get those finger spacings down first. And if you hear that a finger doesn't fall in the right place, don't be afraid to move it. So if I hit that a little bit sour, a little bit flat, it's okay for me to wiggle that finger around, slide it around until I hear the pitch that I want. And another thing I'd like you to do is do a little bit of work on matching your third fingers to your open strings. And you can do that in the same manner. So if it's not quite in tune, move it above, move it below, and see if you can stop when you hear those pure sounds. So you can do that with your third finger on the D string against your open G, your third finger D against your open D string, and your third finger A against your open A string. Did you hear what happened there? So I played that sharp, didn't I? And then I adjusted my finger down. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. So that's what I want you to work on this week.